Hello, cast your minds back to the European Football Championships this summer. What do you remember about them? Well, you're somewhat unlikely to remember any of the matches or any of the goals, but what you will certainly remember is that the entire tournament was framed in racial politics to an extreme degree. This sports tournament was pretty much hijacked by race campaigners pushing the Black Lives Matter movement. And let's remember, the BLM movement came from America. It was a protest against police brutality towards black people in America. Let's also remember that the UK is not America. We don't have the same racial divisions as America. We don't have their same history of segregation. And the relationship between black people and the police is not the same either. And yet here is a football tournament which the UK media decided to devote to pushing this BLM movement and pushing the politics of racial division. Every match, players were pretty much coerced into taking a knee. Every ethnic minority commentator was encouraged to go off on a rant about racism. Every 5 minutes the slogan "Hate won't win" was splashed across our TV screens. And every mainstream media outlet decided to tell us every day that diversity is our strength. And in the final of the tournament, England played Italy. It went to penalties. There was ubiquitous video footage of people in UK bars chanting, "Give it to the black guy, he'll score." And the first two England players to step up to take a penalty were white, and they scored. And the last three players to step up were black, and they missed their penalties. And they missed very badly. And suddenly, after a tournament championing black people, none of the pundits, the commentators, nobody wanted to talk about race anymore. And the bleak irony of that was very funny to a lot of people. The hypocrisy of it was very funny. And everybody made private jokes about it in their living rooms, and everybody made private jokes about it in their WhatsApp groups. And I made a joke about it in public because I've been a professional comedian for 18 years, so that's my fucking job. I put a joke on Twitter, 8 words. What I wrote was, "All I'm saying is the white guy scored," and it all kicked off immediately. Some people found it very funny, and some people were furious about it. And then I doubled down on the joke. I pushed it further. I wrote, "I can see this has offended a lot of people, and I'm sorry that black guys are bad at penalties." And because of these two jokes, within the space of an hour, my entire live tour, much of which had already sold out, was cancelled. Because it happened so quickly, I suspect it was an orchestrated campaign by a politicised collective within the arts with a censorious agenda who harassed and bullied the venues into submission. My agent, in fact, was threatened by one of his high-profile acts who told my agent that if he didn't drop me from his roster, then he would go and sign with someone else. My agent, concerned about his business being under threat, sadly caved in to that bullying demand. So I've been effectively banned from live gigs since then. My livelihood of almost 2 decades live stand-up was taken away from me for straightforwardly trying to do my job of telling jokes. Crazy, isn't it? Fortunately, I still have a number of platforms to put my comedy online, and if you enjoy that content, please do keep supporting it through Patreon or PayPal by following the links below this video, and I'll keep doing what I do. Hopefully we can put an end to identity politics, cancel culture and the extreme censorship that currently exists in the arts. It might be good intentioned, but personally I doubt it. I think it's hard for anyone to argue at this stage that it brings anything other than misery, anger and division into the world. I think it's time for a return to merit, openness and above all honesty. Thanks for listening. Please do support and subscribe.